You think you know how to pass a football. You've been doing it since you were 6 years old. Push it with your instep, aim for your teammates' feet, job done. But here's the uncomfortable truth. 90% of you are getting it fundamentally wrong, and it's the reason you're losing possession in critical moments, why your through balls never quite slice through defenses, and why coaches overlook you for players who seem to have that invisible connection on the pitch. I'm not talking about power or accuracy in the way you think. I'm talking about the microscopic details that separate Sunday League from semi-pro, amateur from academy. By the end of this video, you'll understand 3 passing errors that are sabotaging your game right now, and more importantly, you'll know exactly how to eliminate them before your next match. This isn't theory, this isn't motivation without substance. This is the technical blueprint that players at elite clubs practice daily, but rarely talk about publicly. Let me start with something that's going to sound wrong at first. The biggest mistake you're making isn't with your passing foot, it's with your standing foot, and specifically where you're placing it in relation to the ball. I call this the phantom pivot, and it's destroying your passing range without you even realizing it. Here's the simple definition. Your standing foot position determines not just direction, but weight, disguise, and release speed of every pass you make. Most players plant their standing foot directly beside the ball, perpendicular to their target, then wonder why their passes are telegraphed, why defenders read them easily, why the ball arrives with the wrong pace. Watch Kevin De Bruyne when he's orchestrating Manchester City's attacks. His standing foot is almost never square to his target. In the 2022-23 season, there's a passage of play against Arsenal where he receives the ball under pressure near the halfway line. Every defender expects him to pass left to Grealish because his body shape suggests it, but watch his standing foot. It's pointed at a 15-degree angle away from Grealish, which allows him to open his hips at the last microsecond and whip a pass into Haaland's run on the opposite side. The defenders had no time to react because the deception began before his passing foot even touched the ball. That's the phantom pivot. Here's your training drill to master this. Set up 4 cones in a square, 10 meters apart. Stand in the center with a ball. Have a partner call out cone colors randomly: red, blue, yellow, green. Your job is to pass to whichever cone they call, but here's the crucial part. Before every pass, your standing foot must point at a different cone than your target. So if they call blue, plant your standing foot toward red or yellow, then adjust your hips and strike through to blue. Do this for 5 minutes, 50 passes minimum. It feels unnatural at first because you're fighting years of muscle memory, but within 2 sessions, you'll notice something magical. Your passes become unpredictable to defenders because your body shape no longer reveals your intention. The psychological explanation is rooted in how defenders read the game. They're not watching the ball, they're watching your hips, your shoulders, your plant foot. These are the pre-movement indicators that telegraph your decision. When you master the phantom pivot, you remove those indicators. Physically, angling your standing foot creates what biomechanics experts call rotational potential, stored energy in your hips that can be released in multiple directions until the final moment of contact. Remember this: deception starts where your standing foot lands. The second mistake is something I see in every amateur match I watch, and it's costing you possession in the most dangerous areas of the pitch. You're passing to your teammates' feet when you should be passing to space. And worse, you're passing to space when you should be passing to feet. I call this the context collapse, and it's the difference between players who play 5-yard passes their entire career and players who unlock defenses. Simple definition: every pass exists in a context of pressure, and the correct target changes based on how much time your teammate has. Most grassroots players learn one passing rule: pass to feet when marked, pass to space when free. That's kindergarten football. The real game is more nuanced. Luka Modric built an entire career understanding this subtlety. Watch Croatia's 2022 World Cup semifinal against Argentina. There's a moment in the 63rd minute where Modric receives the ball in midfield. Kramaric is making a run into space down the right channel, completely unmarked. Every amateur player would play the ball into space for him to run onto. Modric passes directly to his feet. Why? Because although Kramaric was free, the Argentine defensive structure was shifting, and in 2 seconds, that space would collapse. By passing to feet, Modric allows Kramaric to control, reassess, and play a third-man combination that actually breaks the line. 30 seconds later, similar situation, but this time the defensive shape is stretched. Modric plays a pass 5 meters ahead of his teammate into space because the context has changed. Here's how you train context collapse recognition recognition. You need 3 players for this drill. 2 passers standing 20 meters apart, 1 receiver in the middle. The receiver moves between them, but here's the variation. Before each pass, one of the stationary players shouts either pressure or time. If they shout pressure, the passer must play the ball directly to the receiver's feet, forcing a one-touch return or quick control. If they shout time, the passer must lead the receiver by 2 meters, forcing them to move into space. The receiver's job is to adjust their movement based on what they hear. Run this drill for 10 minutes, rotating positions. The beautiful thing about this exercise is it trains your brain to make contextual decisions automatically. Within a few sessions, you'll start reading pressure situations in real matches without conscious thought. The physical explanation relates to cognitive load theory. When you're under pressure in a game, your brain can only process limited information. If you've automated the context recognition pattern through repetition, you free up mental resources to see the next pass, the next movement, the bigger picture. Most players are so focused on the immediate pass that they miss the developing play. Master context, and you'll see 3 passes ahead. The phrase to remember: space is only valuable if your teammate has time to use it. The third mistake is the most technical, and it's the one that immediately identifies you as an amateur to anyone who knows the game. You're striking the ball with the wrong part of your foot, and it's killing the zip, accuracy, and consistency of your passing. I call this the surface mismatch, and once you fix it, your passing success rate will jump 20 to 30% overnight. Simple definition: different passes require different striking surfaces, but most players use their instep for everything and wonder why their passes float, bobble, or skid unpredictably. There are 3 striking surfaces you need to master: the inside instep for driven passes, the outside instep for disguised passes, and this is the critical one most people miss, the knuckle area where your big toe meets the bone for low, penetrating passes through traffic. Watch Tony Kroos. He's arguably the most technically perfect passer in modern football, and if you slow down his passes, you'll notice he rarely uses the same surface twice in succession. There's a match against Liverpool in the 2022 Champions League final where he's controlling the tempo in midfield. He receives the ball, scans, and plays a 30-meter diagonal to Valverde using the inside of his instep, getting that slight curve and elevation to avoid the pressing midfielder. 10 seconds later, similar situation, but this time he uses the knuckle area of his foot to drill a 15-meter pass through 2 defenders to Benzema's feet. The ball stays low, travels fast, and arrives exactly when Benzema needs it. Same player, same general situation, completely different surface selection based on what the pass required. Your drill for surface mismatch correction is simple but requires discipline. Set up a passing grid, 10 meters by 10 meters with a partner. Alternate between 3 types of passes in sequence. First pass, inside instep, focus on a gentle curve and soft landing. Second pass, knuckle area, focus on driving the ball fast and low with no spin. Third pass, outside instep, focus on disguise and unexpected direction. Do 30 repetitions of this sequence, and here's the key detail. After each pass, freeze your foot position and look at exactly where the ball made contact. Take a photo if you need to. Most players think they're using different surfaces, but when they check, they're hitting the same spot every time. The physical explanation comes down to surface area and friction. The inside instep has more surface area, creates more friction, generates spin and curve. The knuckle area is smaller, harder, creates a cleaner strike with less spin, perfect for penetrating passes. The outside instep engages your ankle at an unusual angle, naturally creating disguise because your body shape appears to be passing one direction while the ball goes another. Elite players don't think about this consciously anymore. It's been drilled into their muscle memory through 10,000 repetitions. You're going to shortcut that process by doing focused, intentional practice. Remember this line: the right surface for the right situation makes an average passer look exceptional. Now here's the deeper truth that connects all 3 of these mistakes. Passing isn't about the ball, it's about information control. Every pass you make is sending information to your teammates and your opponents. The phantom pivot controls the information your body gives to defenders before you pass. Context collapse controls the information you give your teammate about when and where they'll receive the ball. Surface mismatch controls the information the ball itself carries: its speed, its spin, its its trajectory. When you fix these 3 elements, you're not just improving your passing technique, you're becoming a more intelligent player, someone who understands that football is fundamentally a game of managed information. The best players in the world, De Bruyne, Modric, Kroos, they're not physically superior to you. They're informationally superior. They control what the opposition sees, what their teammates expect, and what the ball does in ways that amateur players haven't been taught to think about. So here's what I want you to do. Before your next training or match, spend 15 minutes on just one of these drills. Not all 3, pick one. If you struggle with telegraphing your passes, work the phantom pivot drill. If your passes consistently put teammates under pressure or miss runs, work context collapse. If your passes are inconsistent in weight and accuracy, work surface mismatch. Do that one drill with complete focus for 2 weeks, and I promise you'll see a measurable difference in your game. And when you do, come back and tell me about it. We've built a community of players just like you who are serious about elevating their game beyond what their local coaches teach. The link to join our Discord is in the description. We share drills, analyze match footage, and push each other to improve every single week. I've also put together a free PDF breakdown of these 3 passing principles with additional variations and troubleshooting tips. Download it, print it, take it to training. This is your blueprint. The question isn't whether these techniques work, they're used at every elite academy in Europe. The question is whether you're serious enough to put in the focused practice that separates players who dream from players who become. Let's get to work.